Hi, I'm Joni Patry, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, today I want to talk about the up-and-coming Mercury Retrograde, how it's going to affect the world, and most of all, how it's going to affect you personally. Now, Mercury is going to go retrograde on September 27th, and it will turn direct by October 17th. In partially the sign of Libra, but mostly Virgo. Remember, I am talking about the sidereal Vedic astrology chart. Before I go on, please, I want to remind everyone about my free newsletter. Sign up for my free newsletter, which is on my website, galacticcenter.org, and receive all of my predictions monthly delivered to your email. And while you're on my site, don't forget to check out my beautiful spiritual jewelry, such as malas and earrings. And another thing, if you want to study and learn Vedic astrology, I have a stellar university. Check it out, universityofvedicastrology.com. Now with that, let's talk about this Mercury as it transits, because the month of September, we're going forward till we hit that day that it stations, and it's going to turn retrograde on September 27th. Now, I wanted to talk a little bit about the nakshatras it's in, because the nakshatras are what really differentiate the signs in these portions of the zodiacs, because it connects further and deeper to the stars. So when Mercury does turn retrograde, September 27th, it will be at 1 degree of Libra. And this is in the nakshatra called Chitra. And this degree marking is so close to such an auspicious fixed star called Spica. It's actually 0 degrees of Libra. And this star represents literary genius. It's highly creative and deals with learning. So you're going to find a lot of trends where people are waking up, learning new things, wanting to grow, and leaps and bounds with education and new learning. Plus, this will accentuate the arts. But unfortunately, Mercury will not stay there for long, because it's going to back up, and it will be still in the nakshatra of Chitra, which Chitra is the bright and shining star. It deals with the jewel, the gem, and it's a very wonderful star. It is this star, Chitra, is ruled by Mars, so it is action-packed, fiery. Things will start happening, but in a retrograde motion. So Mercury will be transiting in the sun, in the nakshatra of Chitra till October 8th. And then October 8th, it's going to enter into Hasta, which is actually a very good sign, because Hasta sits right in the middle of Virgo. And Virgo is Mercury's exaltation sign. So Mercury loves to be in Virgo. And by the way, Mercury will shift signs. It will enter into, Mercury will enter into Virgo, let's see, October 3rd, and it will stay in Virgo till October 22nd. So you see, these nakshatras can overlap in signs, but I'm talking specifically while Mercury is in Virgo. So Virgo is Mercury's favorite sign to be in. So that's October 3rd through October 22nd. And for the most part, yes, for a lot of this time, it's going to be retrograde. So this is important, because Mercury, once again, will go direct on the 17th, but Mercury is still in Virgo on the 22nd. When Mercury stations to go direct in Virgo on October 17th, it will be 16 degrees. Let me remind you, 15 degrees of Virgo is the exact degree, most potent degree of exaltation for Mercury. So there's going to be a lot of new discoveries. Things are going to come out that are quite astounding, dealing with discoveries around the world in what? Health and healing. Let me reassure everyone, there's going to be some amazing events concerning what? The coronavirus? Yes, there's going to be a lot that takes place with this virus. A lot of lockdowns, a lot of trouble, because not only is Mercury, well, Mercury's great in Virgo, but let me say this, it's traveling with the Sun and Mars. They will be in Virgo as well. October is a heated, powerful, transformational month based on the fact that both Mars and the Sun, which are transiting with each other, Mercury adds fuel to the fire. So there's going to be a lot of debates. There's going to be a lot of information. There's going to be a lot of learning about what? Virgo things, which Virgo rules health and healing and disease. You're going to see that through all the upsets that Mars and the Sun are going to create in Virgo, Mercury there going retrograde brings things back. What does that mean? Unfortunately, probably brings back the lockdowns and the fear that surrounds this virus. That's what this Mercury retrograde is going to really bring out. But when it starts to go direct, you know, retrogrades are when you have to go back and reassess things. And that's what's going to be happening. So they're going to reassess everything to do with what's been going on with this virus. I think that by the time Mercury turns direct and starts to make headway in the sign of Virgo, and remember, it'll turn direct October 17th, but it will continue to be in the sign of Virgo, which is going to be many things after this date of the 17th that discoveries in health will start to come about. But it's probably because it needs to come about, because it's going to be a massive review and reflection, an explosive period concerning this virus. Yes, it's going to be massive. So let's talk about Mercury being in Hasta from October 8th till October 28th. Hasta symbol is the hand, and it represents grasping and holding on to things. This nakshatra deals with a great deal of intellect and intelligence. But let's face it, the sign Virgo can be extremely critical and scrutinizing. And rest assured, people are going to be fighting in terms of what they believe, their opinions, because they are going to be grasping on and not letting go of what they believe, what they think. And many people are going to be at odds fighting about where the virus came from, how to cure the virus, whether to take the vaccine, whether not to take the vaccine. Everyone is separating and becoming more violent about their beliefs about this. This is going to be crazy times coming up with this Mercury retrograde. So watch and see how intense these things will come up in terms of fighting and no release. But when Mercury turns direct, there will be more discoveries, because what I think we're finally coming down to is the fact that we got to find a way, another way to heal this virus, because there's too many people are in conflict about how to heal it, with vaccines or without vaccines. So there has to be another way. There has to be some new ways of people coming together with a new idea about how we're going to heal this. It's got to come together. This is so intense. Now, I want to talk about how this is going to affect everyone according to their moon or ascendant sign. So that's another thing. If you don't know your sidereal Vedic ascendant, go to my website, go to the chart calculator. Down at the bottom, it tells you exactly, once you put in all your data, what your ascendant is. AS is the ascendant. So scroll down Don't get confused with all the charts. If you don't know Vedic astrology, go and see what your Vedic sidereal rising ascendant sign is, Lagna in Vedic we call it. So it's AS or ASC, ascendant. Then listen to the one I'm talking about. Go to my website, galacticcenter.org, and go to my free chart calculator. Another one I want you to listen to is your moon sign, and it will clearly tell you what sign your moon is in. That will have an effect on how you're feeling throughout this Mercury retrograde crises period. So, and if you have a moon or rising in Virgo, you better believe you are going to be feeling this, because it's going to be Mercury, Sun, and Mars all sitting in your first house, which is causing great pressure, great pains, great anger, and people coming at you. So be aware. If you have a Libra moon or ascendant, then that means that this Mercury Mars is in your 12th house. Be aware of hidden agendas by others, secrets. Yes, this could be a problem. And if your ascendant or your moon are Scorpio, look out, because your friends may really come at you with all sorts of opposing views. You may have to change the groups you hang around with. And this can also affect an older sibling if you have one. And if your rising or your moon signs in Sagittarius, then this will affect your job, your position, your career, how you feel you look to the world, your reputation. But yes, your career pursuits might have to change. Something is upsetting you there. Your boss probably. Now, if your rising or your moon sign are in Capricorn, then this means that they're in the 9th house. And this can be some upsets with trying to travel, trying to go places. Or you're going to find that your beliefs really do change. And if your father's still around, look out. You'll have some differences of opinions as well with him. Okay? So if your rising sign or your moon sign's in Aquarius, then this definitely means that there's some deep, dark stuff to look at. And you've been doing a lot of research, probably in the area of health and healing, and coming up with some profound answers. Share them with others, because I know you're on to something. If your rising or moon sign are in Pisces, then you might have some upsets with your partner. There's something that you don't agree on. This is time to look into this and heal it. If your marriage or your relationships are on the rocks, you're going to have to work some things out. Now, if you're not in a relationship, this could bring somebody into your life, but look out, they will be fiery. I don't know how long it could last. If your rising sign or your moon sign's in Aries, then this means that you've got the Mars, Sun, and Mercury retrograde in your 6th house. What is this all about? Look after your health. Your health is important. Watch how you eat and exercise, and strengthen your immune system. If your rising or your moon sign is in Taurus, then this means that you will start having great ideas, being much more creative in so many ways. And if you have children, watch out. You could have some run-ins, or they may be seeking some of your undivided attention through some outbursts. Now, if your moon or your rising sign are in Gemini, then this can be where there's going to be some kind of upheavals around your house. Maybe you're building something, renovating. There's going to be a lot of things torn up. Look out. And if your mother's still around, you may have some run-ins or some disagreements with the family or your mother. Now, if your rising sign or your moon sign's in Cancer, then this means you may have some conflict with a sibling. But the other aspect of this is you are learning so many new things, and you'll be wanting to travel. But that's another thing that I need to point out to everyone. Travel plans may go haywire for everyone. Why? There's probably going to be some major lockdowns. Okay, so if your rising sign or your moon sign are in Leo, then this means this Mars, Mercury, Sun are in your second house. Be careful about your spending because you may be over the top spending more than you should. It should bring in some money, but man, it's going to be burning a hole in your pocket. So maybe some unexpected expenses show up when you least expect it. So that kind of covers all the signs, but let me reinforce what I'm trying to say here. This is going to be a fiery time. This is going to be a time of health and healing that comes to the forefront. We have to start looking closer into getting healthier, stronger, strengthen our immune system. And yes, lockdowns will be the talk of the world. And one last thing, travel's going to be difficult. I know a lot of us are getting out and planning on traveling. Be aware. There could be many restrictions in that area. So that covers the Mercury retrograde that we're looking forward to. Let's prepare. So with that, I'd like to close. If you'd like more information on me or you would like to study Vedic astrology, first go to my website, which is galacticcenter.org. Sign up for my free newsletter. Check out all my beautiful spiritual jewelry. And if you'd like to study with me, go to my university website, which is University of Vedic Astrology.com. Thank you.